Hi, Mike here from PlayWhatYouWant.com, bringing you the third part of my 5-part series, An Introduction to Playing Chord Changes on Your Keyboard. Part 3 is going to introduce you to playing 7th chords. Now, we already know how to make major chords, 1, 3, and 5. Now, this comes from a major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. If we play the 1, 3, and 5 of any major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we have a major triad. Now, obviously, if we add in the 7th, that becomes the 7th chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just like that. Now, the easiest way to find a 7th chord is to go from this triad and play an octave above that and use that as your branching out point to find your 7th chord. Now, there's 3 common types of 7th chords that you're going to see in music all the time. That's the major 7th, the dominant 7th, and the minor 7th. Let me show you all 3. To find the major 7th, from this voicing, C, E, G, C, so octave Cs, octave tonics, take the top one and lower that a half step. And this is a C major 7. It's that simple. Put that over a bass note, and you have a nice sounding major 7 chord. Apply that to G. You have G major, put the octave G on top, and lower the top note a half step to the major 7th. The next 7th chord is going to be formed by taking that top C and lowering it 2 half steps. So what we're looking at is a major triad on the bottom with a minor 7th on the top. Some people call this the major minor 7th, but in pop music, rock music, it's usually referred to as the dominant 7, or in this case, just flat out C7. Apply this to G. There's our G major triad. Octave on top, lower the top 2 half steps, and play that chord. G dominant 7. Now to go back to C dominant 7, to make that minor, all we have to do is the same thing that we did with the major triads. Find our 3rd and lower that a half step. And that brings us to C minor 7. With G, there's our G triad, octave, major 7, dominant 7, lower the 3rd to make minor 7. 7th chords have inversions just the same as the triads did, but now since there's 4 notes, there's root position and 3 inversions instead of just 2. So to take C major 7, that's root position, take the C up an octave. We have first inversion, take the E up an octave. Second inversion, take the G up an octave. Third inversion, and then we're back to our regular C major 7. The other type of chord that I want to tell you about are suspended chords, or sus4 chords. When you suspend something from the ceiling, like let's say a chandelier, you're hanging it off the ceiling. There's gravity that's pulling it down. There's potential energy that wants to pull it down. It's going to be the same thing in music. When we suspend a note, there's a potential energy, a tension there that wants to be released through a resolution. With the sus chord, all you have to do to make that tension is take your 3rd and move that up to your 4. This is the most common type of sus chord, and when you see something that says C sus or C sus4, it always means take your 3rd and move it up to the 4. And then this creates a sound with a certain tension that wants to resolve by moving back down to the 3rd. Now, if you're familiar with Tommy, the tune Pinball Wizard uses this. Check this out. It's just a rhythmic pattern going from your 4th to your 3rd. Let me show you what that was. It's going right, each time twice, and then it alternates. Right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right. Speed it up. Easy. Once you get that coordination down, it's the easiest thing to do, and it sounds great. It's so much fun. Now for another real-world example that I can show you and a tune that I can teach you, I brought the Beatles classic Hey Jude. So let me walk you through this. The first chord right here, if you follow my cursor, is F. I'm going to play F this way, with my right hand playing C, F, and A. I'm just starting on second inversion, that's where my hand went. I can start root position or first inversion, it doesn't make a difference. But I'm going to start here. Next chord is C, so we know from the last lesson that the easiest way to get from F to C is just to move these top two notes down. That brings us to C. Next chord is C7, right here. Let me highlight this. Okay, we have C7 going to C7 sus, going back to C7. Now the easiest way to get to C7, earlier I said you can go up to this high C and work your way down. But the easiest, quickest way and the best sounding way is to take the C that you're already playing and lower that 2 half steps. Now why can you play a chord in your right hand that doesn't use a C when you're supposed to be playing a C chord? Because your left is playing that C for you. So your left and your right are working together to make a more open sounding voicing that sounds more professional actually than if you were to play that C in the chord with it. So I'm using an inversion of my C7 chord and a really hip rootless voicing is what it's called. Then when that goes up to C7 sus, the third just raises up to the fourth, like so, and then C7 it resolves back down. Now let me play through the first part of this song. I think this is actually the second verse, so that I can show you exactly how you can play this song right now using what you've just learned. And sing along with it. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, goes down to F7. So anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulders. And now check this out, what I do here. So here's the B flat chord. I'm taking the bass note down to A, G minor 7, bass note down to F, C7, and finishing up the song that way. It's not written in the chart, but it sounds really nice, and that's going to be what you hear on the actual recording. So watch the video back. I hope you can see all the notes that I'm choosing, all the different ways that I'm inverting the chords to make the chords sound good, but everything that I just played today are things that you can play today as well, using simple rhythmic patterns, a good choice of inversions, and how to voice your C chords, your C7, and your C7 sus chords. So take it slow and work on this and have a good time singing along. Now, if you like this video, please check out my website at playwhatyouwant.com, where I'm offering one-on-one private piano lessons live over the internet. The pre-record series that you found all over YouTube and online are okay to learn from, but they're aimed at a very large audience and educating them in a very general way. There's no interaction, you can't ask questions, and there's no one who really cares about your development. Now, if you're interested in private piano lessons, check out my site and send me an email. I'll give you the first private lesson 100% free with absolutely no obligation. Try it out, because there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to play what you want today. Thanks for watching.